Kafka Hibano, once a normal kaiju cleanup crew member, finds himself fighting against a massive spider kaiju. After taking heavy injury, he is rushed to the hospital. But while there, a small flying kaiju enters Kafka's body, turning him into the most powerful kaiju to ever exist, Kaiju No. 8. In the Monsterverse, a world similar to ours, minus the fact they have giant skyscraper world-altering monsters that roam wherever they want. Now, for those who don't know what Kaiju No. 8 is, I'm happy to explain. Kaiju No. 8 is a manga and now an anime series where we follow Kafka Hibano. He cleaned up kaiju and got turned into a kaiju and then started killing kaiju. But despite his small size, being around 6'5" by my guess, he is incredibly strong, being the strongest kaiju in his respective universe. So with the show being newly released, and also being one of the OG fans, having the original release of the English manga, I've been super excited to do this video. Especially seeing how much you guys loved last week's video. Anyways. Now for starters, we need to look at Kafka's insane feats and abilities. First I want to say massive shout out to Anime Balls Deep, as a lot of this info comes from their amazing video on this topic. Make sure to go give it a watch. Firstly, one major advantage Kafka has is that he knows how kaiju work, especially their autonomy. So when the Monsterverse Titans are different from the kaiju in Kaiju No. 8, he should still be able to figure out where their vital organs are with relative ease. Secondly, and even more impressively, while some kaiju like the Destroya or Kaiser Ghidorah can drain energy from their target, Kafka can do something much more powerful. He can drain their regenerative abilities, such as his fight with Kaiju No. 9, who can regenerate at almost instant speeds. After fighting Kafka, he was still injured and sore over 2 days later. So even if his attacks don't do severe damage to a kaiju, he will at least reduce the chance of them healing from said attacks. And Kafka himself can also almost instantly regenerate. He also has an insanely strong roar, being able to destroy kaiju bullets with the strength of nukes. He's also insanely fast, being able to run somewhere between Mach 5 to Mach 10, making him faster than any of the Monsterverse kaiju. And now just to give you a general idea of his sheer strength and power of Kaiju No. 8, this punch right here, where he punched a massive kaiju so hard it went into the stratosphere and blew up with so much force that the shockwave shows the curvature of the Earth. But wait, there's more. While this feat is crazy, Kafka later in the show used the true power of Kaiju No. 8, saying afterwards that until now he's never used any of Kaiju No. 8's true power. So that feat right there to Kafka is nothing. So with that being said, let's go over to the bracket for those who didn't see last week's video. The bracket Kaiju No. 8 will climb through is Behemoth, Scylla, the male and female Muto, Amhuluk, Tiamat, GXK Mothra, the Muto Prime, Beast Glove Kong, King Ghidorah, and finally Shimo. So with all that being said, let's dive in and answer the question: could Kaiju No. 8 survive Monsterverse?
I've seen hell rise out of your eyes, creep up and down your demise. I need isolation.
First up is Behemoth, and he's getting folded like an omelet. Kafka is far too fast for Behemoth to even keep an eye on him. And honestly, if he's able to send that city-sized kaiju into the stratosphere, with a single punch he should send Behemoth tumbling backwards. And given his knowledge on kaiju, he'll definitely find one of Behemoth's weak points. With low difficulty, Kaiju No. 8 moves on. Also, poor Behemoth, he's just the punching bag for all these videos. Next up is Scylla, and again, like Behemoth, she's a punching bag. Due to her very light weight only coming in at 20,000 tons, a single strong punch from Kafka should be enough to send her flying backwards. He would also instantly notice her shell as her weak point, damage that, and she'd be very vulnerable to any attacks. So again, with low difficulty, just a few punches, Kafka moves on. Next up is the male and female Muto. Now, one thing off the bat is that Kafka will have no idea where their weak point will be. The Mutos are their very own type of species, having traits of insects and mammals and a lot of other things. But the Mutos also have a disadvantage, that being the fact that their EMPs won't affect Kafka at all, as he doesn't run off radiation like Monsterverse kaiju. Now the male Muto should go down with relative ease, as, he got stabbed through by simple steel. But, it was the Godzilla tail swipe! The steel stayed intact. It didn't, bend or warp. It just stabbed through him. But the female was durable enough to take one of Monsterverse Godzilla's point-blank atomic breaths. Godzilla realizing that it won't go through her skin, so he improvised and shot it down her mouth. Thing is, though, the female Muto is relatively unprotected in her belly, where she keeps her eggs before, well, they, But I think if him punching a kaiju into the stratosphere was using none of his true power, again, a couple strong hits would do extreme damage to the female Muto, Though if she can somehow, start hitting him with attacks that will do severe damage, but thanks to his regeneration, he should be fine. So, with again, low to mid difficulty, Kafka moves on. Next up is Amhuluk. Now, this will be the first challenge, as Amhuluk has telekinesis, which will help him close a speed gap, as Amhuluk can practically throw his body. And any strong punch dealt to Amhuluk won't really damage him or just warp him, and he'll just repair it. And I say repair as in reform, not regen, so Kafka can't just drain his regeneration because he doesn't really have any. But Kafka would soon realize Amhuluk is just a head, and do one of two things. One, punch his head as hard as he can, or two, for those who might short and you already know what I'm about to say, but I'll summarize. Amhuluk is weak to sound, mostly music, but really anything that's loud and strong should do some damage. So if Kafka runs up to Amhuluk and roars in his ear, that may be enough to kill him. So with mid difficulty, Kafka moves on. Next up is the giant sea serpent, Tiamat. Now, this is kind of hard to say how this fight would go, as we've never seen Kaiju number 8 fight in the water, and vice versa for Tiamat. So for the first time in any of these videos, we will skip a battle, as there just isn't enough information for either side. Difficulty? Unknown. Next up is GXK Mothra. Now, if she can get him in her webs, he might stop there, as his punches are strong, but they're not necessarily sharp, or they, can't cut through it. Though thanks to his insane speed, he should be able to evade her attacks, and given he can slightly fly, he should be able to punch her as well. So with high difficulty, Kafka moves on. Now into the Muto Prime. Now Kafka will have to use all his power, powering him to the max. By using Gamersupps, baby, woo! Yeah, to those who don't know, I'm a partner with Gamersupps. Now, what is Gamersupps? Gamersupps is an energy boosting drink, but unlike the other ones, this is made with quality ingredients, rather than some random chemicals you see on a chemistry test. What the hell is...
Adenosine 5-triphosphate disodium salt.
Also, Gamersupps has funny products like Anime Girl Thighs and Guacamole Gamer Fart 9000. I forget that my videos will outlive me. Hey grandkids in the future, hope you're proud of your grandpa! Anyways, check out the first link down below and take a look for yourself. If you do end up buying anything, make sure to use code GodzillaGuy to save some money. If we get enough sales, we can put this on a cup. Anyway. Now, the Muto Prime, though slow, packs one hell of a punch. A single one of these may put Kafka out of commission. Though, thanks to Kafka's speed, I doubt he'd get hit. Though, the Muto Prime is so durable that for Kafka to win, he'd really have to push past his limit. And while he just barely passed, I do believe he stops here. Since Kong is just so smart, he'd figure out how to deal with Kafka's speed. So, yeah. Kafka makes it pretty far in the Monsterverse. Though, once the manga is fully out and done, I have no doubt that Kafka will have new feats that will allow him to pretty much just one-tap the Monsterverse. I really urge you all to go watch it on Crunchyroll, as it is just such a great show. And if you like Godzilla, you'll like it too. But I hope you all enjoyed the video. Let me know what you want to see next. Want to see more videos like this? Well, check out the channel and consider subscribing. But, as always everybody, keep collecting. GodzillaGuy out. See ya.